Coming up on Unpeeled, Disney celebrates its centennial year in style.
Women's sports continue to grow with yet another record-setting event.
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare for this new spooky show.
And light your torches for this new addition to the Olympic Games. All that and more. Unpeeled starts right now.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Unpeeled. I'm Sammy Lindell.
And I'm Charlie Goldberg. We start off our show with some somber news from Hollywood.
Actress Suzanne Somers died at the age of 76 on Sunday after a two-decade battle with breast cancer. Known for her role as Chrissy Snow on the classic sitcom Three's Company, Somers also was an entrepreneur and health spokesperson.
Many stars have been paying tribute to Somers, such as her husband of 46 years, actor Alan Hamill. Hamill took his grief to Instagram saying, "I'm in love with you, my beautiful Suzanne, for all of eternity." We here at Unpeeled send our thoughts to the family and friends of Somers during this difficult time. This week, Disney celebrates its 100th year anniversary, and for this occasion, Disney premiered a 12-minute short film called Once Upon a Studio. The short film features 543 of Disney's iconic characters gathered together for a one-of-a-kind group photo.
The short film also included over 40 of the characters' original voice actors, including Robin Williams' iconic portrayal of the genie in Aladdin. Even after 100 years of Disney, it is clear that their spirit and initiative to bring joy to children are still living on. Charlie, it's crazy to think that Disney is so old. I mean, you grow up as a kid and you think about Disney as like a childhood thing, but you know what? I found out this week Snow White is from 1937. Are you kidding me?
Wow, that is really old. And well, I wasn't sleepy or grumpy watching the film Once Upon a Studio. It was absolutely incredible. Disney managed to fit 85 different stories in just 12 minutes. That's unreal. Disney really never fails to impress, Sammy.
Never fails to impress. 85? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And Dan Abraham and Trent Corey are the film's directors. And Abraham says that this is a love letter to Disney animation and all the artists who have been working on this for the past 100 years. What an awesome tribute.
It was the perfect combination of all Disney, new and old. Where else are you going to see Moana and Timon on the same screen? For us early 2000s babies, it was truly a joy to watch. And well, Sammy, I gotta say, I'm not a Disney adult, but watching this made me feel like a Disney kid all over again.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're not a Disney adult.
Yeah.
Disney may have hit this incredible milestone, but we might not be seeing new Disney content in the future. SAG-AFTRA negotiations have stopped. Following the end of the WGA strike, SAG-AFTRA resumed negotiating on October 2nd, but they have recently been suspended. So was the issue of the use of AI or increasing minimum rates? No. This time it was disagreements between residuals.
The union made a proposal asking Hollywood studios to pay actors 57 cents per subscriber in residuals, amounting to $500 million per year. However, the industry's CEOs are offering to pay only $20 million, further delaying upcoming projects. Fran Drescher, the president of the strike, spoke openly about it, so take a look at what she had to say.
Had given us a proposal package. We worked for like 36 hours on it. We brought it back to them. We walked them through it, and they left and then called a few hours later and said, "We're breaking negotiations."
Really upsetting stuff here. And the fact that the actors' strike is not even close to where the writer's strike is when it comes to success is just really upsetting. Maybe there's no light at the end of the tunnel, Sammy?
I really hope so. I mean, even A-list celebrities were wondering why this all fell apart. I mean, we had George Clooney, Scarlett Johansson, and Tyler Perry. There were some among a group of talent that spoke with SAG president Fran Drescher. I mean, it kind of feels like Hollywood is just stuck in a rut.
Yeah, and I know Drescher put everything into having the picket lines filled up with people. She put everything into having Hollywood make negotiations, yet sadly Hollywood will not budge. They will not take a single cent out of their pocket. Just really heartbreaking stuff.
Heartbreaking, yeah. The strike has lasted 97 days, and let's not forget the writer's strike lasted, what, about 150, around there? I mean,
a lot.
To think about, we're hitting the 100 mark. We might not be seeing any light at the end of the tunnel, as you said.
We also might be seeing a lot of reruns when it comes to TVs and movies as well. So, let's talk about musicals' journey from screen to stage and now back to screen. Mean Girls, the musical movie, is coming to theaters to celebrate its 20th anniversary. The first trailer surprised audience who attended the Eras Tour screenings this past week.
The trailer has yet to be officially released online, but features some iconic scenes, including an appearance from the famous Burn book and Christmas talent show. The movie will be released January 12, 2024. Returning as Regina George is Broadway star Renee Rapp. Let's take a look at her performance of Burn.
The gasoline on a
Charlie, that's a theater kid if I've ever seen one, and I know we're kind of breaking the rules. It's Wednesday. We're not wearing any pink. We're wearing gray, a little bit drab, but at least we're still able to talk about this exciting development that's taking place.
Yeah, and Sammy, the fact that Mean Girls was such a Broadway success and it was just a box office smash, you find it surprising that Hollywood hasn't really picked up on this pattern, and that Hollywood's now finally putting these together in one form of a musical movie.
Definitely, it's going to be strange not seeing Lindsay Lohan out there, but you know what? As we said, Renee Rapp is going to be playing Regina George, and she's such a theater kid. You know how she was picked up? She went to the Jimmy Awards, which is basically the best of the best talent in the High School Musical theater. So they all came together, and she was picked up there, and they just snatched her, and now she's doing amazing. It's crazy to see the strides that she's making right now.
Well, Sammy, this cast is really going to make this movie absolutely, pun intended, fetch. Sammy.
Stop trying to make that happen, Charlie. It's just not going to happen.
No. If Gretchen Wiener could do it, Charlie Goldberg could do it as well, Sammy, okay?
All right, well, I guess you can deal with that. All right, I can take it. But when we return, our sports reporter Lillian Northrup is here to give you your weekly sports rundown.
And Syracuse events reporter Maura Vaughn tells us about a local comedy show that had the audience cracking up. Stay right with us, you won't want to miss it.
My name is Ishan.
Hi, my name is Sadie Miller.
My name is Luke Brady. I go by St. Luke.
So this one I started with this guitar lick.
One in three adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back to Unpeeled. There's a lot happening right now in the world of sports, from an influencer in boxing to the MLB playoffs. So, here to break it all down from the wide world of sports, with scores and other highlights, is our sports reporter, Lillian Northrup. Lillian?
Thanks, Charlie. This week has been big in the sports world. Starting with Logan Paul, still getting used to seeing his name under boxing and not YouTube, but the star's making things happen after his disqualification win over Dylan Dennis last week. Dennis pulled a wrestling move, and it ended the match. It did stir up a little brawl at the end, and with that, Paul grabbed the legendary UFC fighter Conor McGregor's attention from the fight. From the ring to the court, Iowa women's basketball played a charity event at Kinnick Stadium, their football football stadium against DePaul and beat the women's basketball attendance record with 55,646 fans on Sunday. On top of that, the #1 potential WNBA draft pick, Caitlin Clark, dropped a triple-double in the outdoor game. If this is anything like what their season will look like, we're in for some good basketball. And we're also in for some good baseball in the next couple of weeks. The Rangers and Diamondbacks and Phillies all upset the bracket, making a run at the World Series. As you can see, the Astros are the only second team ranked in the championship games, and they're currently losing to the series against the Rangers 2-0. The Astros and the Rangers, Game 3 just started right now. The Phillies and the Rangers both beat the top teams in their division, and the D-backs beat the second-ranked team. The Phillies have had the lead in the series 2-0 against Arizona, and last night they washed Arizona 10-0. No matter the outcome, we're looking forward to an underdog World Series. And to wrap up this week in sports, the last 2 undefeated teams in the NFL lost this weekend. The Eagles and the 49ers, both in the NFC Championship game last year, started off this year 5-0, but they had rough games. The 49ers kicker Jake Moody missed a game-winning field goal. He probably wasn't in a great mood after that one. And the Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks against the Jets. That now gets him to 7 thrown interceptions on the season. That's an update on this wild week in sports. Now, how about some laughter? Sammy, what do you have for us?
Lillian, you always keep me laughing, and Logan Paul is so facey and always is trying to stay relevant, but thanks so much. And over the weekend, Syracuse student comedians showed off their funniest jokes for the University Union Kickback Comedy Show. Here to recap the funniest moments is Syracuse events reporter Maura Vaughn. Maura, what do you got for us?
Sammy, now what I'm waiting for is for us two to get on stage, but luckily Unpeeled did represent at the UU Comedy Show, as Tim Wong, crew member of Unpeeled, was the first stand-up comedy act of the show, followed by a lineup of comedians that had me laughing the whole time.
All right, we're sorry about the technical difficulties. I know Maura still made a great package for us. We'll be putting that on the web for you guys. I mean, Maura, thanks for the stand-up, but I don't think that's going to be in my cards. I'm not going to be doing any stand-up comedy at any time. We're not going to like that. And we're getting some goosebumps for this new spooky show, and our very own TV reporter, Ray Gomez, is here to fill us in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Peelers.
Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look! Welcome back to Review Crew.
On today's episode, we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Let's talk about this movie now.
Let's talk about it. I liked it a lot.
I love Kick-Ass.
There are parts of me that want to just go through frame by frame and see every single multiverse when they'd have those flashes.
Yeah, the big flashes. Me too.
Talented, funny, handsome. Tim,
come on.
You got it all, buddy. You're like my own person.
Look who's talking. Come on.
See you next week.
Welcome back on Peelers. As the actors' strike wears on, many viewers are rewatching their favorite shows on Netflix, and soon you'll be able to shop for merchandise from your favorite shows. Our industry reporter Riley Underwood is in studio to tell us more. Riley?
Yeah, well, Sammy, soon you'll be able to go into Netflix, not on your TV, but in person. The streaming service is planning on opening 2 U.S. locations in 2025. Netflix House will offer fans the opportunity to eat, shop, and play in the new stores, which will include characters and themes featured in their programs. This comes after Netflix stopped its mail DVD service last month, the program that started the company in 2007. Since 2020, Netflix has experimented with over 40 pop-up retail shops around the world. These have included restaurants that serve food from their reality cooking shows, and one of the most popular attractions was the Queen's Ball, which was a Bridgerton-inspired dinner show that simulated the series based in 1813. Many viewers of the show went, and here's a clip from one fan's experience. And many cities have also been eager to host a touring Stranger Things store, which is currently in Las Vegas. This December, Squid Games The Experience is scheduled to open in Los Angeles, where customers will get to compete in 6 different games that mirror the show. Netflix is also planning on raising its monthly subscription prices for the 2nd straight year. Many other streaming platforms have also announced similar price hikes. Companies are saying that the writers and actor strikes have taken a toll on revenue. Netflix houses are expected to expand globally after the flagships open, and the locations for the 2 U.S. shops have not been announced.
Thank you, Riley. And from one streaming service to another, it's spooky season, and that means that we have some new fall frights coming. So, there's a new Goosebumps show coming out. Here to tell us all about it is our very own Ray Gomez. Ray, in the words of Drake, I get those goosebumps every time. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I get goosebumps being with you, Charlie.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about this new show. It's based off the Goosebumps infamous book series, right?
Yeah.
Now, with looking into that further, what are the differences between the books and the show?
Well, Charlie, the main thing with this TV show is that it's actually very faithful. I mean, Rob Letterman made the movie with Jack Black in 2015, and he also made this series. So he's trying to stay faithful to the source material, but there are 3 key changes in the show compared to the books. The first key change is that it's not set in middle school. It's set in high school to make it better for an older audience. There's also been people of color added to the show to help diversify it, because the books are only white characters, and the show wants to be able to allow the audience to relate to it more. So that's important. And then the third one is that it is set in the current day to make it more relatable to the current audience.
Well, Ray, it's funny that you mentioned the aspect of high school, because I actually had the pleasure of meeting 2 of the EPs of the show, and they gave me some reasoning behind why high school was incorporated. Let's check it out.
Show that adults could watch by themselves, either fans of the book who read them 30 years ago, or if you even haven't read the books before, we're unfamiliar. We wanted something for everyone.
Now, the show can definitely give you a fright, and Ray, I know you're a big Goosebumps guy. Out of all the books you've ever read, what's your go-to?
Oh my gosh, Charlie. There's so many good ones. Like, that's the problem, is that I had to narrow down for this question, but if I had to choose, I chose Welcome to the Dead House, because 1, I have to be unique and choose a not as popular book, because I'm a pick-me, like, what can I say?
Oh.
2, because I think it's a cool plot. I mean, when you're living in a city or a town full of dead people, like, how can that not be more interesting? Like, I feel dead day to day, but, like, they're actually dead people, so they can fit in perfectly. Like, I'm tired, like, I don't know.
Oh.
But the main reason is one of the main characters' name is Ray. That is an amazing name, and I couldn't think of a better name to name a main character. So, of course, I had to choose it.
Well, Ray, it's a shame that you feel dead all the time, because you are a living example of a fantastic reporter. Don't put yourself down like that, my friend. And, well, thank you so much for this very good report. In the words of Travis Scott, we get those goosebumps every time. There we go. So, thanks, Ray. And coming up, America's Got Talent is facing legal troubles, and pop culture reporter Riley Lucetta is here to tell us all the details. You won't want to miss it.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to Unpeeled. America's Got Talent has been a living room staple for years. For its hidden talents, from beautiful voices to insane stunts, it's always a great watch. However, this year, it might be falling into some controversy. Here to tell us all about said controversies and a recent lawsuit conducted against America's Got Talent is our own pop culture reporter, Riley Lucetta. Riley?
Thank you, Charlie. America's Got Talent Extreme is a version of the well-known show that features more insane and extreme acts. Last week, a lawsuit was conducted to the LA Superior Court due to a horrific accident occurring in 2021. Let's dive into this. 43-year-old Jonathan Goodwin, a stuntman from the UK, is no stranger to the fear or to the big screen. Before being featured on America's Got Talent, he was a finalist on Britain's Got Talent, where he was buried alive for the finale. In Goodwin's audition, he was blindfolded while actively dodging crossbows. Simon Cowell qualified this as one of the craziest acts to ever grace the stage. Goodwin is an adrenaline junkie, but none of his previous work can compare to the stunt that ended his thrill-seeking career. The stunt included Goodwin wearing a straitjacket while being suspended 20 to 40 feet in the air between two cars. The intent was for Goodwin to remove himself from this positioning before the two cars collided, but this was unfortunately not the case, and Goodwin has been permanently paralyzed. Though it has been 2 years since this stunt occurred, Goodwin has come forward to conduct a lawsuit. Some key details are that there were no safety precautions, that the stunt was not tested properly, and that the design and production was overall faulty. Stuart Frankel, Goodwin's lawyer, came forward and said that this is yet another example of the entertainment industry putting profits and ratings before safety. This stunt was a voluntary act for the purpose of entertainment. Now Goodwin must suffer the mental, physical, and emotional consequences. After the incident, America's Got Talent paused production, sent their love to Goodwin, and echoed their intention to always keep cast and crew safe on set. Goodwin has discussed that he can still practice being fearless even after his injury. This is just a new challenge for him. We at Unpeeled will keep you updated on the lawsuit and hope he has a smooth recovery. Over to you, Sammy.
I'm also wishing him a smooth recovery. Thanks, Riley. And esports is one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now. Its rapid rise to fame has caught the eyes of many people, including the International Olympic Committee. Here to break this down is our very own esports reporter, Nathaniel Cunningham. Now, Nathaniel, I'm so excited about this. I'm sure you're even more excited. Can you tell me what's going on with the Olympics and esports?
Yeah, so pretty much the International Olympic Committee meets usually once a year, where they come in to talk about what's going to happen in the Olympics in the future, the upcoming 5-6 years. Well, this year when they met, the very first thing they talked about was esports, and that was after the success of the virtual series in 2021. In the virtual series, they pretty much had events like Taekwondo, things like racing that came in apart, and those were just held virtually, where over 500,000 people were participating. It made a crazy environment, and the Olympics are definitely trying to promote this and make this a thing in 2028, possibly 2032.
Wow, 500,000. Nathaniel, you talked a little bit about the games in the virtual series, right? Are those the same games we're going to see in the Olympics?
Yeah, so there's a very good chance that the games that we're going to see are going to be those Taekwondo racing games to start. That's what we should expect in 2032. But when we get to 2036 and 2040, we should expect to see actual esports. We should be able to expect to see your Rocket Leagues, your Valorant, your things like that, your Fortnites, those games that are the most competitive. You should expect to see those very shortly after.
Great. I mean, are you going to be in the Olympics?
I hope so. I've been putting in the time, so I hope to be there.
Great. So what's the potential impact of esports being added to the Olympic Games?
The biggest impact is its legitimacy. People can no longer deny the fact that esports is a sport. It's a fact now. If you're going to put it here with the Olympics, with some of the biggest sports in the world, track and field, basketball, baseball, and softball, which have been added, lacrosse, you cannot sit here and deny the fact that esports is a sport. This is an industry that's not even 20 years old. It's $1.5 billion in valuation. You can't deny that this industry has grown rapidly in its time, and now if you put it along with the Olympics, it's just going to solidify itself. It is esports.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy to hear that esports is making its way to the Olympics. I think, Charlie Goldberg, do you have something for us? A surprise guest appearance?
Absolutely. And well, you mentioned esports, and what's the biggest part about esports? Technology. And luckily, we have defeated our technological issues here on Unpeeled. So please help me welcome back again, Moravan.
We're back. How did that happen? Crazy, guys. We're so sorry about the technical difficulties, but we're back and we're going to be better than ever. So, Maura, can you tell us about this student-run comedy show?
I mean, Sammy and Unpeelers, if you want to talk about SNL, this is the type of comedy show that I'm talking about. There are 9 student comedians, and I mean, these comedians come from all over doing so many different comedy clubs in Syracuse. I know there's Crab Shack, there's the Playground, which is like a student run. It's in a basement. It's a really relaxed environment. So a ton of the comedians actually came from the Playground and they brought their humor and it was just hilarious. Tim Wong, who's in the audience, he's a crew member. He was the starting point off in the show and oh my gosh, was he funny. I was crying laughing.
Oh my gosh. So if a student wants to get involved with this, what should they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think to be invited to the university unions, a lot of them start off in smaller venues because, I mean, this venue was huge. So many people were in the audience. I would say close to over 100, well over 100. Wow. So for a lot of the comedians that I had to talk to, they said that this was the biggest venue they'd ever performed in. So, I mean, they were a little bit nervous, but a lot of them have been doing this for so long that it just felt natural at this point, and the crowd was so natural. I mean, they were laughing back and forth. At some points, it would get quiet, so it's really like a pick and choose what kind of jokes land, but I mean, that's all a part of comedy. It's all a part of it, so I mean, they're so used to that by now.
Thanks so much, Maura. And we'll be posting her package online, right?
So fun.
All right,
of course.
Thank you so much. And fans marveled over this year's Comic-Con, and my amazing co-host, Charlie Goldberg, was there to capture all the best moments. We'll be right back, Unpeelers.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Unpeeled. This past weekend, I had the privilege to work at New York Comic-Con as a part of the press, and well, comic book fans all over the world are definitely incredible. There was incredible costumes, there was incredible people, there was incredible booths, and well, we have some incredible things to show you. So here's a quick look at a package. When you hear the word unpeeled, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Unpeeled?
Yes.
An orange?
Delicious?
Revealing. An orange.
Now, when I say the word unpeeled, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Yummy.
What were those noises, Charlie?
That guy bothered me.
Really?
Very scary guy at the end, yeah.
Okay, what's the first word that comes to your mind when you think of Unpeeled?
I think it was said best in the package. I think revealing. Like we take these celebrity stories and we really just peel off detail by detail. So it's pretty revealing. How about you?
I think of the amazing community that we have here. It really does feel like a family.
But what's the word?
Happiness.
That's a great word.
I don't know. I just think of like really a lot of happy faces, a lot of lovely faces, as our EP Blair would say. But I guess that's what I have to say. That's what
Nothing but smiles and joy here at Unpeeled. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
Now, once again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms at Unpeeled Syracuse on Instagram and at CitrusTV on X. I am Charlie Goldberg.
And I am Sammy Lindell. We'll see you next Wednesday. Stay classy.